Hi ladies and gentlemen, you are with Dr. Powar, trust you well. What I'm going to be doing in this video is be talking about what 2020 has taught me. I'm sure it's a year that has taught us all many things. It's been a difficult year for many of us. We've lost a lot of what we consider to be normal. In some very unfortunate cases, some of us have lost our loved and dear ones. So it's been a very difficult and testing year. I wish I had a magic wand at times like this and put everything right, but unfortunately I don't have. And what I'm aiming to do in this video session is just talk about some of the things that 2020 has taught me. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to welcome you into my space here. I've got the fire going. It's December, it's Christmassy. It's nice and warm. It's pretty cold outside here in the UK. So I hope you can feel the warmth. And you can't see it in the video at the moment, but I've got our little dog all spread out in front of the fire. So if she gets up in the middle of the video, you'll know who it is. Anyway, so let me talk about 2020 and what it has taught me. Oh, Sahira, I spoke too soon. Come and sit down, you. Come here. Oh, she doesn't want to. Okay, so let me talk about 2020 and what it has taught me. Hello. We're going to do this video. Look that way. She's busy looking out. So yeah, let me start off with point number one. These are just some of the points that I've thought about. There's many more, and they're in no particular order of importance. So I'm just going to talk about them randomly. What I have learnt in 2020 is I've learnt to slow down a little. I'm one of these people that's a workaholic. I'm also a perfectionist, and I've also learnt this year the importance of not being a workaholic, of not being a perfectionist, because in my world I've had this fast moving life where I've always been productive and I've always being able to tick off tangible things in my world as being productive. I've always been very busy. I've had time management skills and all those things. And now I've learnt the importance of it's okay to waste a day, because it isn't actually wasted. It's the terminology we assign to our experiences that gives it a negative or a positive. Time, if you've enjoyed a day doing absolutely nothing or doing things like I often do with this one, I sit with her, that really isn't time wasted, it's time well spent. But just because I can't tick it off as talking to somebody about it, saying, oh, I've achieved this today, it doesn't mean it's wasted. As long as you've enjoyed your day, as long as you've done it at a fast pace, slow pace, imperfectionist, perfectionist, it really doesn't matter. What really does matter is that you're happy. And that leads me on to point number two. Point number two about being happy. 2020 has taught many of us that a fact that we all know, and this is the thing about learning, because that's what I specialize in, learning, and I take individuals and organizations through their learning journey. And we all know a lot of things, but that's where it stops. We know those things. We don't actually do anything with that knowledge. We don't apply that knowledge. So for example, we know for a fact that happiness is created by our individual self. It has nothing to do with anyone else. But because of the world we live in, we associate it with that. We associate it with going out with friends. That's going to give us happiness. We go out saying we're going to buy a new outfit, and that's going to create happiness. And it does. I'm not saying those things don't. But ultimately, this year has also made us create our happinesses by being in a total lockdown situation, by doing something that's outside the norm. So we have really learned, and I have learned, that happiness is something we truly, truly, truly create ourselves. Point number 3, another point about lockdown has been, it's really given us the time to think about life, reflect on life. And as much as we've thought about the past, and in our busy lives we think about the future, what it's enabled us to do is think about the now. The now. As Eckhart Tolle has stated in a lot of his work, all we really have is now. COVID-19 has proven that, because for a lot of us, people have been here in our lives today and they're not here tomorrow. So all we really have is now. So always, always live in the moment, live in the now, because that's all we really have. That's my point number 3. Point number 4, freedom. This lockdown has really, really taken away the element that we've been taken for granted always, the ability to be free. And we, in many ways, haven't really valued that. But now, because someone has been controlling us and telling us what we can do, and we can do it when we can go out, we hopefully have all appreciated a little bit more how lucky we are to have freedom. I certainly have. I hope you have too. Point number 5, I've learnt whilst reflecting, is that our energy, our time, is a very precious commodity. We shouldn't actually waste it. And I'm using waste, that word, in its context, not like previously, because if you've wasted a day doing nothing, it's not actually wasted if you've enjoyed it. But I'm now talking about actually spending time, devoting time and energy to things, to people that are going to take away from us. Time, our energy levels are very scarce resources, so we do need to protect them. We need to safeguard them. My final point, like I said, there's many more, but I'm going to stop on this point, is that if you're alone, there's this misconception that you're going to be lonely. And in some cases, that's true. But again, with COVID-19, indeed for myself, and I'm sure for many of us, it's made us think about not having that noise around us when we're in groups, we're in friends, we're in the shopping mall and things like that, and we've been alone. And on occasions, that's highlighted the loneliness element of our lives, and on some occasions it hasn't. So being alone does not mean lonely, and sometimes being in a crowd, you can still be lonely. It's all about if you're happy here, if you're happy there, that's what makes you either lonely or not, as the case may be. So let's hope 2021 is going to be a better year for all of us. It's something that's happened. I know UK, because I live in the UK, we've had this phenomenal news on the 8th of December that we've been the first country vaccinating for COVID-19. I hope going forward that produces positive outcomes and positive results for all of us, and we can all get back to a life that we choose to get back to. Maybe some of us will go back to a busy life. Maybe some of us will take the lessons that we've learned in this life and apply them and change life a little bit. But I hope certainly 2021 is a year that's much better than this one for many of us. And I'd like you to thank you for listening to me. Please drop your comments on what 2021 has meant for you, what you've learned from it, what you've struggled with in 2020. I'd love to know from you. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel, and I'd like you to share my channel as well with your colleagues and friends. And I wish you a good day, and I'll be back. Thank you. Bye-bye.